अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभा तीर्थगोस्वामिने नमः। पतित पावन परम करुणामय परमाराध्यतम श्रील गुरुदेव नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद श्रील भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज जी के अभय चरण में असंख्य कोट साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए उनकी अहेतु की कृपा प्रार्थना करता हूँ। By the mercy of most revered Srila Gurudev, we have been discussing here about the transcendental glories of the holy name. So, we try to understand yesterday that bhakti is not a thing which can be taken in secondary list. For a devotee, especially, bhakti is always in the priority list. So those who are liberals, those who are fanatic kind of people, those who are intellectual kind of people, they always consider that ultimate object of attainment is liberation, not bhakti. Bhakti is something meant for crazy kind of people, foolish people like that. But a pure devotee has nothing to do with any karma, jnana or anything else. Their only desire, their only means and their only end, everything is just the holy name of the Lord, just devotional practice. We try to understand all this, and finally what we learned is Haridas Thakur, he felt so bad, and then finally he decided to leave Chandpur and go to Shantipur. So now when Srila Haridas Thakur, he went to Shantipur, he was so happy to see Advaita Acharya, and they both greeted each other. They both paid pranams to each other, and then they embraced each other in joy, in happiness. So Advaita Acharya, an elderly person, was the leader of Vaishnava community in Navadvip, because he is the senior most, he is the elder devotee. And also one thing, that those days and actual consideration should be Jai Bhaje Sei Bado. Seniority is based on the practice of devotion. It should not be taken in a way that the time we spent in the ashram, in devotional life, it should be taken in a way that a person who is more sincere in his devotional practice, he should be taken as that senior devotee, that mature devotee. So now Srila Haridas Thakur, he is of course senior as well as in his sadhana also. So he is also coming from a Brahminical family. He is not from any other line of Kshatriyas, Vaishyas or Sudras. He appeared in the family of Brahmins. So his ancestors were highly learned scholars and very great people. So Advaitacharya later took initiation from Sri Madhavendra Puri and got settled in Shantipur. Originally they all were from Sialhat. So now what happens? The people of Shantipur as well as Navadvip regarded him with great respect for his vast learning of the Shastras, pious life and sincere devotion. So people used to respect him. People used to respect him because of his vast knowledge in the Shastras and also because of his pious lifestyle and sincere devotion. That respect we have to gain. Respect can't be demanded. If we try to demand respect, then we will never get it. We have to earn by our own conduct. So now the people of Shantipur were observing his lifestyle. So when they saw how expert he is, how learned he is in the Shastras, how expert he is in the Shastras, and also leading a very pious life, and not that he speaks something, does something, no. Whatever he speaks, he practices. So he is highly maintaining the standards of pure devotion. So that's why people, they respect him so much. Everyone has to gain respect. It's not something which is demanded. So there are so many people, because of their lifestyle, they are not adored by anyone. But at the same time, there are so many people, because of their lifestyle, they are adored by everyone. Like this. So anyhow, he was very highly regarded. He was one of the very few selected associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can see he is one among Panchatattva. He is not an ordinary person. Advaitacharya is Mahavishnu. So Advaitacharya, what he did, he has arranged a very nice lonely hut, because devotees, they don't want to be in so much of a disturbance. They don't want to be in the middle of people with unlike mindsets. There used to be a devotee. He was so amazing that anyone would ever go and ask or speak something which is anti-devotional, he would immediately take his sandals and start beating himself. There was such a kind of personality some time ago, when he was, as long as you are speaking with him, conversing with him about the Supreme Lord, you will see him, you will find him so happy, joyful, and talking about the Lord. The moment someone changes the conversation and speaks something about the material world, immediately he starts beating himself with the shoes. There are such kind of Vaishnavas in the ancient India. They are such kind of devotees, because they know that life is so precious. Why would I speak about something which is not related to the Supreme Lord and waste my valuable time? So when they see the most precious time is wasted, immediately they start chastising themselves. What I have done? In fact, with this fear, people would not even go to such Vaishnavas, because they are so worried that we don't know what we are going to speak. Many people, they go to the Vaishnavas and make some prayers like this, you please pray for us. Why? It's your job. Who else can pray better than yourself for your own benefit? Because you love yourself more than anyone else. So you have to pray sincerely for your own benefit. Then you will see the result. But people, they are so confident that because we are not a true devotee, so they always beg other person that you please pray for me, you please pray for me. And anyhow, when you pray for me, what you pray for me? So that I get some worldly things, worldly benefits. If a person has to pray for some other person's worldly advancement, why would he not pray for himself? So it gives pain. Selfish people, they hardly understand this. They don't understand this. By our such kind of behavior, we are only giving pain to the pure devotees, because they don't want to beg anything from the Supreme Lord for themselves, because they don't consider that devotion is meant to beg, is meant for demanding something from the Lord. They don't ask for themselves, and again we go there and we beg the Lord, and going there and begging the Lord for other person's worldly benefits is next to impossible. Why? Because all these things are not pleasing the Lord. They are not not giving any kind of satisfaction to the devotee. That's why what it is said, Advaitacharya, he understands. He doesn't want Srila Haridas Thakur to be disturbed in his sadhana. So that's why he has made a nice arrangement, a lonely hut, where Haridas Thakur can peacefully stay and perform his sadhana. Because he has to chant 300,000 Harinam in every day. So he needs plenty of time. And if people keep on coming, visiting him very often, then it's next to impossible for him to chant his holy name. So, what he did, he has arranged nice lonely hut for Haridas Thakur on the banks of river Ganga. On Shantipur there is nice Ganga flowing very nicely, and daily explained to him the real import of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And what Haridas Thakur he is doing every day, he is taking prasad from the house of Advaita Acharya and spent his days completely lost in spiritual bliss. He remained absorbed in the topics relating to the sportive pastimes of the Lord in the company of his revered host, whom in the company of Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur was relishing. He is relishing and he is absorbed in the divine pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Vaishnava Sangete Mon Anandita Anukshan Sada Hai Krishna Parasang. In the association of Vaishnavas, Anandita Anukshan always feels happy. What happens? Sada Hai, always Krishna Parasang, the discussion about the Supreme Lord. Always there is discussion about the Supreme Lord and his pastimes. So it's always blissful in the company of pure devotees. And what is said, while days rolled on unnoticed in such unparalleled spiritual happiness, Haridas Thakur approached Advaita Acharya one day with a humble request. What he did, many days passed like this, not one day or 2 days, quite few days have passed like this doing, and one fine day Srila Haridas Thakur has approached Advaita Acharya asking him that, Sir, Prabhu, Advaita Acharya is addressing him, Hey Prabhu, can you please tell me what is the benefit of feeding me? You are feeding me every day, you are feeding me. And this is the place for Brahmins. Many eminent persons of high lineage are here. And what you are doing, ignoring all of them. And you are extending to me. What you are extending? The great hospitality. In fact, you have to extend this, respect all those other high class people, those who are born in different Brahminical families. But you are not taking care of them. You are ignoring them. And you are feeding me, you are looking after me. And doing this may possibly offend all of them. They may feel bad. Yes, it may pave the way to some social trouble. Hence, I appeal to you from the bottom of my heart not to continue it and to do such actions that may be agreeable to the social and spiritual principles of one life. So Haridas Thakur is requesting, please don't do this. By doing this, it's a kind of inviting trouble. That's all. We are only inviting troubles by doing this. Because people will go against you. They may not appreciate this idea of what you are doing. And we have to understand 500 years ago, the custom was quite rigid. In fact, the custom was like very rigid. People were so, we can't say rigid, we have to say it like they are like more into the system. They are more into the society culture. So when there is a Brahmin, he has to live a life like a Brahmin. When there is a person who is Sudra or Kshatriya, Vaishya, whatever it is, they consider them, they see them through their Varnas only. So that's why when a Brahmin person, when a person with higher Varna is engaged in the association of someone who is in the lower Varna, they would not appreciate that culture. It's in fact not correct, because the consideration is not correct. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So depending on one's qualities and the deeds, depending on one's qualities and the deeds, these classifications of Varna has been made. It's not made on some other basis. It's totally under the basis of the deeds of the person as well as the qualities of the person. So that time they were hardly understanding about this because maximum number of people were following the rules, the injunctions of the scripture. So they would possess such qualities of Brahmins. They would perform such activities like Brahmins. Kshatriyas would possess the qualities of Kshatriya and perform all those activities, all those actions which make them identify Kshatriya. Same like Vaishya and same Sudra also. Everyone would follow their respective actions and deeds, as well as they would possess their respective qualities. So they used to follow that lifestyle, but among them there is always one person will be there who lives totally different from the community he used to live. Like Dundukari, even though he was born in the family of Brahmins and high class Brahmin family, but still his nature was totally different and he was so violent, and then finally he had fought with his parents and then went against the Vedic injunctions and lived a very life of ignorance, tamoguna. In the same way we can see how Ajamil has spoiled his life. So such instances are there, that even though being born in a very high class Brahminical family, people, those who have gone against that standard. So and there are such personalities, such people, even though they are born in a low class family, but still they lived a very high quality life. So now Haridas Thakur, what he is doing, he says, please don't do this. By doing this, by giving respect to me, it is a possibility, there is a possibility of inviting some trouble. Trouble in the sense people may not appreciate this, so they may discuss, they may create like some disturbance to you. And what happened? Haridas Thakur is not an ordinary person. He is an eminent scholar. He is a very big scholar, Advaitacharya, and also he holds an extraordinary position amongst devotees. He is not an ordinary person. He is a scholar. He knows everything. He knows the scriptures. He knows everything. Well, Haridas Thakur says to Advaitacharya, he says to Srila Haridas Thakur that please give up all these kinds of fears. There is nothing to feel fear, because the fear you have is totally baseless. And also he assured him that he would do only such observations that are sanctioned by the sacred Shastras. So he says that I am not going against any scriptures. I am not going against any Vedic injunctions. How can you even think that my action can go against the Shastras? So it's not possible. But the thing is, I shall only do things which are in favorable to the scriptures, sacred scriptures. And what he says, Tumi khaile hoy koti brahman bhojan, ye to boli shraddha patra karaila bhojan. What he did, if you have eaten, then that means almost 1 crore of Brahmins have taken food. So they are really fed. Feeding 1 crore of Brahmins and at the same time feeding one very pure devotee of the Lord. But the pure devotee means he has to be like Srila Haridas Thakur, the one who is engaged constantly in the chanting of holy name, and the one who is chanting not less than 300,000 holy name. They are considered, and not an ordinary person like people. They consider that the one with tilak means kanti means Vaishnav. They are Vaishnavas. But when we say by feeding one Vaishnav, it's like feeding 1 crore of Brahmins. That means the Vaishnav should be Paramahansa. He should be a very big acharya. He should not be a normal sadhak, ordinary Vaishnava, ordinary person. So anyhow, so Srila Haridas Thakur, he is saying that please take prasad. Saying this, what he did, Eta boli Shraddha Patra Karaila Bhojan. By saying this, he brought the plate of that Shraddha and then offered it to Haridas Thakur to eat. Why this thing has come? Because that was the day that Advaita Acharya has to perform the Shraddha ceremony for his father. He has to perform the Shraddha. That Tithi is like, Shraddha means Shraddhaya Dadati, to offer Mahaprasad of the Lord to the person, to the ancestors, to the father and forefathers with firm faith in the Supreme Lord, and on his prasad, that by taking this prasad, my father will be upgraded, delivered to Vaikuntha. He will be upgraded to the lotus feet of the Lord. With this firm faith to offer this prasad is called Shraddha. Shraddha literally means Shraddhaya Dadati. Now, Advaita Acharya's father's Shraddha ceremony time has come. So he has invited many Brahmins, and that time, because Srila Haridas Thakur was present there, he brought him and he put him there and gave him an elevated platform. When it was done, all those Brahmins, they were just looking at Advaita Acharya, what he is doing. And then they all said, if you feed him with us, we are not going to eat with this person, because he is not Brahmin. And also he is coming from a different other religion. So when he is there, how can we take prasad? So everyone said, we all condemn this act of yours. Then Srila Advaita Acharya, he says, may you all leave. I don't care, but I shall serve Srila Haridas Thakur. That time Haridas Thakur, he says, please don't create some problem for yourself. Maybe they all may be offended by this act of ours. They all may feel offended. So that's why, please don't do this. That time Advaita Acharya, he says that you don't worry. I shall do everything according to the Shastras only. I will never look down the Shastras or offend them. I shall just follow whatever is in the scriptures. So that's why by feeding you, it's like feeding 1 crore of Brahmins. So I will be very happy to feed you. And then he brought the plate and kept near Haridas Thakur to eat. And what he did, so what it is said, of course the above deed which he has performed is undoubtedly, what it is doing is is an inexcusable violence to the social code. Means in the society, what happens is, there are some guidelines set. So those who are orthodox kind of people, what they do, they only follow that process, that system. So for them, it's like a line made, and they only see the line, they only walk on that line, that's all. They don't have any other considerations. Forget about alternatives, but they don't even have any other considerations also. So all these people, those who have attended that occasion, they all are that kind of people only. So for them it's an inexcusable offense, violation of the social rules, that how can you do this? What you have done, this is not correct, this is inappropriate. It should be fed only to the Brahmin people from our community. And also now you are feeding some other person, and that to the person who is not a Hindu, who is not a Brahmin. So it's all wrong. Like that. So what happens? It's a grave violation of the custom of the community. You are violating the customs of the community by doing so. Because according to the custom of the Brahminical community, what it is, you have to feed this food to certain person only. A person from this community has to eat it. And then you have to offer them some donations and all those things. Then only forefathers will be pleased. Then only your father will be happy. You can't feed to some other person. Like that. These are the customs. But Advaita Acharya, he was not bound to those customs, and Advaita Acharya is a highly scholarly person, so he knows the importance of a Vaishnava in comparison with the Brahmins. So that's why Haridas Thakur, Advaita Acharya has a different opinion. So what he did by this action, the great Advaita Acharya is not to be misunderstood as one who has transpassed the social principles or Vedic Varnashram Dharma. So, because he has transpassed the Vedic Varnashram Dharma and he has what he has done, so that's why it is said that you should not misunderstand him, that he was wrong. In fact, he has laid bare before and taught the world the unique position of a genuine devotee. By doing so, what he has done, he has laid and taught the world that what is the unique position of a genuine Vaishnava. What you think? You identify Vaishnava only through the attire, or maybe the Vaishnava who comes from Brahmin families. No. Jai bhaje sei bado, Jai Krishna tattvaveta sei guru hai. Advaita Haridas Thakur is the spiritual master. One whoever takes shelter of Advaita Acharya, he will naturally come out of this world. He will be completely free from this worldly bondage. He is not conditioned like other people. That is Advaita Acharya. That is like Haridas Thakur. So Advaita Acharya, he knows what he is doing. So when all these people, they opposed him, he gently said, may you all leave, but I shall not ask Haridas Thakur to leave, I shall serve him only. If you people have the problem, you people have the right to leave. They all were looking at each other and started thinking that Advaita Acharya is not an ordinary person. He can't do something which is wrong. He can't do something which is not accepted by the scriptures, because the whole village knows that he is expert in Shastras. Why would he do something which is against the scriptures? So that's why slowly they all turned back, and then they all have taken the prasad very happily. So what it is said here, over all the castes and creeds and his solo eligibility to accept the offering of even high-class Brahmins on such special occasions. The above fact is not against the Shastras. What position of the Vaishnavas, what position of the devotees is set? He says over all the castes and creeds and his solo eligibility, who is over all these castes and all, not within the castes and all those things. He is beyond the caste, creed, religion, culture, everything. And what he is doing? He is solo eligible to accept the offerings of even high class Brahmins. Even though the person may be born in a very high class Brahmin, but still this pure devotee of the Lord is eligible to accept them also, especially on such special occasions. The above fact is not against the Shastras. I am not going against the Shastras, so whatever I am saying is part of the Shastras. So this devotee has the right to accept all these offerings offered to him on this special occasion. So what it is said, Brahmananam sahasrebhyo satyayaji vishishyate satyayaji sahasrebhyo sarva vedanta paraga. So what it is said, sarva vedanta with kodaya Vishnu bhakto vishishyate Vaishnavanam sahasrabhya ekanteko vishishyate. Bhakti rashtavidha hesha yasmin mlechepi vartate Saviprendra Muni Sreshta Sagyani Sacha Pandita. What it is said, among thousands of Brahmins, one who performs Vedic rites is superior among thousands of such Vedic Brahmins. One who is well versed in the meaning of Vedic lore is superior. So, among thousands of Brahmins, not just one or two, one who performs Vedic rites is considered as superior. So that's why it is said Brahmananam sahasrebhyo. Sahasrebhyo means 1,000. So Brahmanas, they are those who are like more than thousands of Brahmanas, not one. Satrayaji vishishyate. The one who performs the Vedic rituals are so special, they are superior. Among those superior Vedic Brahmanas, who is the special person? The one who is well versed in the Vedic knowledge, he is superior. And those who are well versed in the Vedic knowledge, Vedic Shastras, a devotee of the Lord is considered to be more superior. Even amongst the devotees of Sri Vishnu, a single-minded devotee of Sri Krishna is spoken as the supreme most. So among all, the devotee of Vishnu is considered the topmost, is considered superior. And well, among all those devotees of Vishnu, who is considered the topmost is the devotee of Sri Krishna. Is the devotee of Sri Krishna. Such was the lofty position that Thakur Haridas enjoyed even before the great Advaita Acharya, the leader of Vaishnava community at Navadvip. So Advaita Acharya was the leader of this Vaishnava community in Navadvip Dham. In front of him, Haridas Thakur is being adored in such a way. So that's why it is said, there can be thousands of Brahmins, no problem. Among them, who is superior? The one who performs Vedic rites, If a person is born in a Brahmin family, even if he doesn't perform the Vedic rites, he should not be accepted as a Brahmin. There is no point accepting him as a Brahmin. If a person is a police and if he doesn't act like police, then he is a corrupt. If a person is a leader and if he doesn't act like a leader, then he is corrupt. If a person is a teacher and doesn't act like a teacher, then the person is corrupt. So whatever the person's profession is, whatever the person's lifestyle is, if he doesn't follow them, if he doesn't follow those standards, that means he is not to be taken in the same way, like that. It should not be taken in the same way only. And also we have to understand, the son of the doctor can't be addressed as doctor. He is the son of a doctor, neurologist or some gynecologist or whatsoever it can be, like cardiologist. So many specifications are there. So someone who is born in the house of such a doctor, he is not entitled to be addressed as a doctor because he is born in the family of doctor. In the same way, being born in the family of Brahmin, a person is not entitled to be called as a Brahmin, because if he has to be a Brahmin first, he has to follow the Vedic rites. So he should be more pious, he should be spiritual, and also the person who has accepted Gayatri mantra and chanting Gayatri regularly. That's very important. We have to understand, it's not so easy in this way. People, they consider themselves to be born and then brought up in a very high class family. But if you are not performing the daily rituals recommended for a Brahmin, then how we can claim ourselves to be Brahmins? Simply by wearing some threads in the neck? No. That's one of the very important things which we have to understand. That's why it is said, the one who follows the Vedic rituals are considered as the Brahmin. And among those personalities, those who understand very well the injunctions of the scriptures, they are considered as much superior. Among those people, those who understand the essence of the scriptures, the devotees of Lord Vishnu are considered special. Among the devotees of the Lord Vishnu, the one who is the devotee of the Supreme Lord Vrajendranandan Sri Krishna, he is considered as the supermost. He is considered as the supreme. That's what is being explained here. So Advaita Acharya, he knows the position of Srila Haridas Thakur. So that's why what he is doing, he is adoring him and he is giving him due respects and making him take honor that prasadam of the Lord. Advaita Acharya's sympathy to the fallen humanity has no parallel elsewhere. So what happened when people, he saw this and they were like, they got moved. He wished to do something sustainable to them. So Advaita Acharya, when he saw the condition of these fallen souls, how they think about Vaishnavas, how they are living, what kind of living they are living, what quality of life they are living. When he saw all this, then what happened? He got completely moved by seeing their fallen condition, miserable condition. And what he thought? He wished to do something special for them. He wanted to do something special for them. Why? Because he saw they are so conditioned. If I don't do something special, then who will rescue these fallen souls? A pure devotee can only feel the pain of this material world and try to help the people and try to rescue them by doing what? By giving them the best benediction for their life. Others can't do this, only a true devotee can do this. Others think about themselves today, others think about themselves yesterday, others think about themselves in tomorrow also. So whether it is in the past or present or future, they have only one agenda, that is to think about themselves, that is to satisfy themselves, that is to do everything only for their own pleasure. But a pure devotee always thinks about others. He always thinks and cares for others. So when Advaita Acharya saw that there is no respect for Vaishnavas, they are so fanatic and sectarian mindset people that they only think of their own benefit. A true Vaishnava cares for others. A true Vaishnava thinks for the benefit of others. He will not just remain thinking about his own benefit, because he is Vaishnava, he is a pure devotee of the Lord. So when in this particular incident, when he saw how sad it is that people, they don't have respect for the devotee, they don't have trust in the devotee, they don't have faith in the devotee. They are thinking the devotee to be an ordinary man. This is not correct. I need to do something. I should help them. If I help them, then it is good. So what he did, he started searching for various ideas how all these people can be delivered. Because all of them are suffering souls. They all are suffering. He took an oath for bringing on earth the manifestation of Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the midst of all, and started regularly worshipping him with the Ganga water and the sprays of Tulasi. A very efficacious method mentioned in the Shastras. So when he saw their fallen condition, he had made a vow that I am not going to leave all of you in this miserable condition, because you are already conditioned. If I will leave you, who will protect you? The Supreme Lord has a very special, unique quality, that he is Vadanya, compassionate. These are the four special qualities which the Lord possesses: Samartha, capable, and then Vadanya, compassionate, Bhaktavatsal, he is very affectionate to his devotees, and then Kritagya, he knows whatever we have done for him in any life. So he remembers everything. So that's why what happened is now, Advaita Acharya, when he saw their condition, they are so sad. Then his heart started melting, and then he made a vow that any cost I will make the Lord appear now. And then every day he started worshipping the Lord along with Ganga water and Tulsi leaves. It is said it is most efficacious method explained in the scriptures. Haridas Thakur too, with renewed enthusiasm and faith, went on with his chanting the name eagerly, expecting the advent of Sri Krishna. Haridas Thakur was also present there, and then he is also chanting the holy name, expecting the advent of the Supreme Lord, and also having the desire to see the Lord. Like that. Influenced by the sincere devotion and repeated, what happened? Influenced by the sincere devotion of Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, and also repeated prayers of both of them, what the Lord did, Lord appeared. After that, the Lord appeared. That's why it is said that the reason the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his advent into this world, and what he did, he inundated the whole country. When Mahaprabhu came, then he brought Krishna Prem. That's why it is said, Namo Mahavadanyaya. Krishna was Vadanya, compassionate, but Mahaprabhu is most compassionate, Mahavadanya. What he has given? Prema Bhakti. So that's why, how it has to happen, not by seeing not by seeing all those Brahmins, not by seeing the people, those who are suffering in this world, only by when the heart of a pure devotee started melting, and then he started caring for the fallen people, and when the strong desire to rescue these fallen people has entered into their heart, as a result, Lord appeared in Navadvip Dham. And he appeared, and what he did, he flooded the whole nation with the holy name, immersed everyone in the flood of holy name, divine name. And this swelling waves of the holy name, which overflowed in all the directions, making the inhabitants, what it is making? Beneficiaries of this great nectar. That is the speciality, that is the greatness of the holy name. When Advaita Acharya started chanting with the desire to rescue, to help these fallen souls, those who are unable to understand, who will explain them? So God has to come to explain them. God has to come to rescue them, to save them. So that's why Advaita Acharya, he started calling out for the Lord. Roaring, he is making the roaring sound and calling out for the Lord. Why? What does the sound, this roaring sound refers to? Intensified way of addressing the Lord. You have to come, you have to save the world, you have to bestow Krishna Prem. Let everyone get the devotion, what he has experienced, what he has realized by the association of Madhavendra Puripad. That's why he has high respect for Vaishnavas, everything. And because he is one of the primary associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But today, when the time has come that the Lord has to appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what happened? He has accepted the prayers of Srila Haridas Thakur and Sri Advaita Acharya, and then made his divine appearance in Yogapit, coming out from the divine womb, sacred womb of Mother Sachi Devi. Further we shall discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Radhe Shyam.